Welcome back. In tonight's episode, we're going to go into the heart of Gyeonggi-do, Korea. Some rooms are never meant to be opened. Inside an old forgotten inn on the outskirts of Seoul, there's a room no one dares to enter. Room 5. They say if you stand outside its door at night, you'll hear it. A soft, haunting hum, like someone singing from the other side. But those who step inside are never the same again. Tonight, we unlock the terrifying mystery behind the humming ghost in room 5. They say, if you hear the humming, she's already behind you. Rain drenched Gyeonggi-do again that week. The old Hanul High buildings seemed carved from storm clouds themselves. Sujin stared at raindrops racing down the window. At the back, whispers worsened. Room 5's haunted. Just an urban myth. But Ji-yoon hung herself there 2 years ago. Room 5, an abandoned music room on the top floor. Ji-yoon was bullied until she died by suicide inside it. Since then, rumors flew. The piano plays itself, followed by humming. Sujin didn't believe in ghosts, but one late evening, a soft tap, tap, tap echoed. Piano keys. Then humming. Sujin, emanating from locked room 5. That morning, Minji warned, if you hear her humming, you'll die in 7 days. That night, Sujin's desk held a single strand of long, wet black hair. In her dream, a girl in a white uniform hovered at her bedside, feet barely touching the floor, humming the school anthem. The window was open when she awoke. Humming drifted from outside. Rumors spread fast. Sujin's classmates cornered her that evening. Prove you're not cursed. Go into room 5 tonight. Mi-young handed her a silver key. At midnight, Sujin crept into the darkness. Room 5's door, scratched, wrapped in faded police tape, swung open. Dust clung to the beam, the piano sat in moonlight, and tiny wet footprints led to it. Then the piano struck its own keys. 3. Hair draped over the keys, no body. Lights flickered. The distorted school anthem screamed from the piano, and behind her, faint humming. Sujin. The door slammed, phones clattered. A voice whispered in the dark, you opened the door. Now I can come in. Mi-young lay dead on the school roof, mouth stuffed with piano sheet music. CCTV at 3:14 a.m. caught a white, hair-draped figure hovering behind her. And then the feed went to static. Sul-bi texted Sujin that night, I hear humming outside my window. Sujin found her window open and a white dress floating in her yard. No body, just the dress. She met Halmione Cho, the village shaman, who warned, you opened the room. Now her spirit is free. She wants all of you. That night, Sujin received a video, she sleeping, filmed from inside her own room. A voice whispered, Sujin, next is you. Sujin avoided mirrors, but the humming chased her. At home, she locked her room tight, but in the mirror, she saw Ji-yoon, pale, hair draping, neck at an unnatural angle, silent but humming. She returned to Halmione Cho. The shaman prepared bells, candles, pig's blood. Once the humming starts, the bond is formed. During the gut ritual, candles extinguished as if someone passed by. Inside the ritual room, the ghost whispered, stop calling me. I already found my song, Cho whispered. The piano bonds her. Destroy it, or she'll take you. That night, Sujin took a hammer to room 5. Entering, every piano key slammed down, deafening discord. In the dark, she saw the ceiling, and Ji-yoon, hanging, hair swinging, dress floating unnaturally. She whispered, play with me. She smashed the piano. Keys fractured. The room erupted with layered screaming, nightmarish chants. The ceiling cracked. Silence fell. A red wedding veil, soaked and dripping, lay over broken keys. Hair streamed out. Sujin backed away. Door slammed. Ji-eun's ghost hovered, feet inches off the floor, face obscured, whispering broken fragments. They watched me die. Now they will sing. Floor slicked with water. Sujin found herself humming the school anthem. She rose. Flashlight caught a shadow, not hers. Long hair, no feet. By dawn, the 5th floor was flooded in black water. Canoeing depth. Sujin gone. Other girls vanished. CCTV showed at 3:44 a.m. a white figure leaving room 5 carrying a silver key. The north wing was sealed. Rumors persist. Rainy nights bring the piano's haunt. The school anthem hums through broken speakers. Those who listen too deep disappear within a week. In the valleys of Gangwon province, hidden behind dense pine forests, stood the Cheonghwa Music Academy, abandoned for over 30 years. The villagers called it Gumse Hakwan, the Cursed Academy. Its windows were cracked, its roof half collapsed, and black mold crawled across its faded white walls. The air around it always smelled faintly of wet soil and iron. Few dared to pass by after sunset. Inside, warped wooden floors creaked under decades of dust. In the center of the main hall sat a black, upright piano, untouched yet strangely well-kept. Its surface bore deep scratches as though clawed at in desperation. 13 of its ivory keys were chipped and yellowed, but the 13th key was different, faintly stained red, as though blood had seeped into the wood. The stain, villagers said, had never faded. Ji-yeon, 17, was a transfer student from Seoul. She carried scars hidden beneath her sleeves, both physical and emotional, reminders of relentless bullying. Her mother, a pianist, had died when she was 8, leaving Ji-yeon with one fragile sanctuary: music. At her new school, whispers of the Cursed Academy drew her in. There's a piano inside. They say if you play the 13th key, you'll hear the dead, one student whispered. That night, Ji-yeon slipped past the rusted academy gates, the moon hidden behind heavy clouds. The main hall was cold and damp, smelling of mildew and something faintly sweet: rotting flowers. She approached the piano, brushing dust from its bench. Her fingertips grazed the keys, surprisingly smooth, unnervingly warm. She pressed a few notes. The sound was flawless, too flawless. Then her finger touched the 13th key. The note rang unnaturally long, vibrating deep inside her skull. Her breath hitched, and then she heard it, a faint whisper, wet and ragged. Don't play it. Ji-yeon spun around. The hall was empty. She pressed the key again. This time she heard someone sobbing beneath the piano. The next day, Ji-yeon found Sung-ho, a quiet classmate who knew every local ghost story. Don't go near it, he hissed. That piano, it belongs to Ha-eun. 30 years ago, Ha-eun, a scholarship student, was mocked relentlessly by wealthy classmates at the academy. They shredded her sheet music, spat in her tea, and once locked her inside the practice room for hours without water. But Ha-eun had talent. Talent so rare it made her classmates' jealousy boil. On the night of her final recital, she performed a melody no one had ever heard before. Witnesses claimed she played with inhuman speed, her fingers slamming the keys until blood splattered across the ivory. Halfway through, she screamed, a piercing, animalistic cry. But her fingers didn't stop. It was as if something else was controlling her hands. After the performance, Ha-eun vanished. They found only a snapped piano string on the floor, the bench overturned, and the 13th key-stained red rumors spread. Some said Ha-eun hanged herself with the piano wires. Others whispered she'd been dragged into the piano itself. That night, Ji-yeon returned to the academy. She sat down trembling and pressed the 13th key again. Suddenly, something knocked back from inside the piano. Over the next week, Ji-yeon's obsession grew. She spent every night at the piano, sometimes falling asleep on the bench, waking with bruised fingertips and aching wrists. She stopped eating. Her classmates whispered about her sunken eyes and cracked nails. One stormy night, she awoke to hear piano music outside her window. Barefoot, she followed the sound back to the academy. Inside, the main hall was pitch black, except for faint moonlight pooling on the piano. Suddenly, the piano lid slammed shut on its own. From beneath the piano, a pale hand crawled out, skin torn, nails cracked, dripping black water. Then came the face. Ha-eun. Her jaw hung unnaturally low, her neck twisted, strands of wet black hair sticking to her bloodless skin. "Play my song," she gurgled. Ji-yeon stumbled back, but the piano began playing itself. An erratic, chaotic scream of notes. The strings inside rattled violently, then snapped free. One steel wire slashed Ji-yeon's wrist open. Blood splattered across the keys. The piano absorbed it. Ji-yeon fled home and confessed everything to her grandmother, a mudang, Korean shaman. Her grandmother paled. "Child, you've awakened a Weonhan, a vengeful spirit." Ha-eun's suffering bound her to that piano. There was one way to break the curse. A Gus shamanic exorcism performed at 3:33 a.m. when the veil between worlds thinned. That night, Ji-yeon, Sung-ho, and her grandmother returned to the academy. Salt circles were drawn, candles lit, and charms hung on the walls. The mudang began chanting, "비켜라, 이승의 문을 닫고 저승으로 돌아가라. Be gone. Leave this world and return to the afterlife." Suddenly, the 13th key pressed down by itself. Each note grew louder until the entire piano played Ha-eun's melody on its own. From under the piano, black hair burst forth, wrapping around Ji-yeon's arms and throat. She screamed as her grandmother sliced at the strands with a ritual blade. Then the floorboard split open beneath the piano, revealing rotting, waterlogged hands clawing upward, pulling themselves out. One grabbed Sung-ho's ankle, dragging him toward the piano. He hacked at it with a knife, severing black, decayed fingers that twitched even after hitting the ground. The piano erupted in flames, and from within the fire, Ha-eun stepped out, skin peeling and reforming, her voice a gurgling whisper. "If you stop, I'll take you." 3 days later, the academy burned to the ground. The village thought it was over. It wasn't. At the school festival, a brand new grand piano gleamed under the stage lights. Ji-yeon hesitated as she sat down, palms sweating, heart pounding. She played her first note, then the second, then the 13th key. The sound was wet. She froze. The key was stained red. In the reflection of the glossy lid, she saw Ha-eun, smiling faintly. Suddenly, Ji-yeon's hands slammed the keys violently, playing the forbidden melody faster and faster, her nails cracking, blood spilling across the pristine ivory. Then the lights flickered. When they came back, the bench was empty. Only the 13th key remained pressed down, dripping fresh blood.
Subscribe if you dare.